I am the place where God shows up. Good morning to our Facebook friends and family. Welcome to the Monterey Center for Spiritual Living. Today is December the 27th. This is the fourth week of the month of December. And our theme for December has been making magic. And our monthly theme, the theme for today is making magic. Our monthly theme has been the divine truth, recognizing that there is a connection between all of the principles and the teachings that we have shared throughout the year. And can you believe that this is the last Sunday of 2020? The last Sunday. And what a journey this year has been for all of us. And it continues to create new and limitless possibilities. We've experienced ups and downs unlike any roller coaster that I've ever been on. And I must admit, roller coaster was not one of my favorite rides at the amusement park. But from even all of the unique roller coaster designs that I have seen, I would say this year has been nothing like that. And yet, we have survived the ride. We are here together because we have survived the ride. We've developed new coping skills. We've developed a new appreciation for the essence of who we are. And for me, that is one of the overriding things that has occurred out of this year, a new appreciation for the very essence of who I am. This time of shelter in grace has created the opportunity for those of us who chose to really do some deep inner work and exploration. And as we continue to focus on the inner presence, we recognize that the major thing that we have to be aware of, is not to be infected by the virus of fear. Not to be infected by the virus of fear. As we allow our focus to be on peace, which is the original nature of the soul, we can begin to count our blessings in life. Last week, our theme was cultivating the light. And we reflected on the writings of Ernest Holmes from the original edition of the Science of Mind textbook, published in 1938, where he writes, "Thought, which is built upon a realization of the divine presence, has the power to neutralize negative thought, to erase it, just as light has the power to overcome darkness, not by combating the darkness, but by being exactly what it is, light." And so as we allow that light to come forth and to shine from the inner aspect of our being, we looked at and we identified several ways to cultivate the light. And the first one is one of my favorites, and that is to have fun. Have fun. Don't take life seriously. I take my spirituality seriously, but I don't take my life seriously. It's okay to give yourself permission to have a fun break. The next item that we discovered as an activity for cultivating the light is to reclaim our joy. Joy is healing. It is a healing essence of everything that we are a part of. The next activity we're invited to engage in is to live our soul's purpose. When we are living our purpose, we glow. And the last one is to be of service. Being of service to others allows us to experience our own healing. And out of our healing brings more light. And so as we shine our light in service to others, that light expands and glows and brings that back to us. And then our call to action last week was to be the light that we wish to see in the world by letting our bright light shine. We upgraded the words to that song from I'm going to let my little light shine to I'm going to let my bright light shine, the bright light of the essence of spirit that is within me. And this leads us into today. As we wrap up December, we're making magic. Now, some of you who may not be familiar with our teachings may think, oh my God, this minister has just gone totally wacko talking about magic. Where's magic in the Bible? How does that relate to spiritual principles? Well, let me share that with you. Making magic is a joyful intention for life. Life does not create itself randomly. It is through our understanding and to the degree that we cooperate with the law of mind that we create magical, joyful, and an enchanting life. And let me unpack this word magic a little bit. And I'll share with you from the dictionary, from the Bible, and from what Ernest Holmes says about it. The dictionary gave us three categories. Magic as a noun is the power of apparently influencing the course of events by using mysterious or supernatural forces. And the example given is suddenly, as if by magic, the doors started to open. The dictionary also describes magic as an adjective, using magic or working by magic, having apparently supernatural powers. So again, we see the supernatural at play in here. And the description here as an adjective is a magic wand. And I remember in one of our spiritual communities, the minister was quite playful. And she had found this wand, this princess wand. It was I think it was a princess wand at the Dollar Tree store. And so if we were in meetings or if we were in situations where things were getting really tight and tense, she would bring out this wand and it played some sort of a really silly chime, really childish type thing. And it would just cut the tension. Everybody would just burst out laughing. And then it was just a way of bringing us back into the present moment and not taking everything so seriously. And I think my wife bought one for our granddaughter. And I don't know if our granddaughter remembers that or not, but I believe that she did. And the other dictionary description for magic as a verb is to move, change, or create as if by magic. And the illustration is he must have been magicked out of the car at the precise moment that it exploded. And through the Bible, in the Old Testament, magic was considered an aspect of pagan wisdom. And in some cultures within the Old Testament history, magicians were counted as wise men and officials of foreign governments. So there was some acceptance and some embrace. In some cases, though, magic was banned under penalty of death. And there were groups that allowed and encouraged divination, the practice of seeking knowledge of the future or by the unknown of supernatural means. And so again, we see a connection here with the supernatural. Now, in the New Testament, some of the practices were very similar to the Old Testament. Although the New Testament writers did not explicitly condemn magic, none who practiced magic were described in a flattering way. It's a very polite way of saying they were frowned upon. The New Testament writers regarded Jesus and the apostles' miraculous acts as of divine origin. And then Dr. Holmes gives us some insight into the use of magic, although he doesn't really describe it as magic. But as he talked about in cultivating the light, that and also in describing the law of mind, what he says, and I'm paraphrasing from page 403 in the current edition of the textbook. In our use of the law of mind, we do not have to force it. We do not have to cause it. We do not have to work for it. We do not have to beg it. We do not have to cajole it. It exists and acts upon every thought we think, and we can never avoid using it. It reminds me of our teaching symbol, the circle representing infinity, and then the top part is the soul, um, where the creative ideas begin, and then the middle part is the fertile. Wait a minute, the top. I'll have to use the children's analogy because I'm forgetting the others. Um, the top part of the circle is the seed. The seed is planted into the fertile soil of the soul, and where it is nurtured and where it grows in the darkness. Again, that darkness needing that space and time for that seed that is planted to germinate. And then it outpictures as a demonstration or in the body of our affairs. And also in our teaching symbol, we see the symbol of a V, which represents the descent and the ascent of the Spirit operating in and through all things, coming down into the body of our affairs, and then manifesting itself back into the original source. And so this is how we use the law of mind to work with us and to work for us. And we don't have to beg it. We don't have to plead with it. We don't have to cajole it. Isn't that a wonderful feeling to know that this law works for me and it works through me and it works as me? We can set our intention on keeping and growing higher and higher and higher, no matter what life challenges brings to us. Our life is good. It is inherently good. It brings whatever we need to experience and learn, while also bringing ever increasing opportunities to create what makes for a beautiful life. I want to share that with you again because it's very meaningful as part of the spiritual principles that we teach in New Thought and in Science of Mind. Life brings to us whatever we need to experience and to learn, while also bringing to us greater opportunities to create what makes life beautiful. And for many of us, that has been our experience of 2020. Life has brought us some experiences that have really caused us to stretch and grow beyond our wildest imagination. At least I know that is the truth for me. And as long as we are breathing, that is an indicator that we are meeting up with what it is that we need for this experience and for this life journey. Three other illustrations that I would like to offer, or points of view to support our Science of Mind perspective, is the first one is finding magic in the ordinary. Life is magical. Do you see it? It's enchanting, it's mystical, it's awe-inspiring. How magical that we can connect and communicate with another person or with an animal that appears before us. There's magic just in the connection through the Zoom, where we're able to connect with one another and be in the presence. Sometimes we refer to our Zoom calls as the participants in the Hollywood Squares. And yet it's an opportunity for us to connect with each other. Those of us who have our fur babies, our little people that are dressed in fur coats, that bring us such excitement and joy and unconditional love, really demonstrations of unconditional love. These are all of the ways that the magic occurs in the ordinary. The way nature interacts is remarkable. Watching a sunrise, or watching a flower bloom, or watching the rainfall, and feed the earth. This is all a part of the magic. I think it was, maybe it was Christmas morning that I awakened, and the sky was a rather unique color, and then I noticed that it started becoming darker, and then there was rain. There was a burst of rain, and I was all excited. And then the rain faded away back into the sunshine. So just watching how nature is interacting with itself, that's magic. We may not believe in magic as creative, but the creative life is magical. And one of our ministers, Reverend Patrick Harbala, in his book, The Magic of the Soul, writes this: finding the magic in every situation is a technique that can help us to accept whatever is happening in each moment. If it's magical, we can use it to increase our expression of soul energy and learn from the experience. So this idea of magic is encased in increasing our soul energy. The second point is to welcome in that which we have been preparing for. You know, the earlier part of the year leads up, well, the various seasons of the year, that's how I can explain it. The seasons of the year all have a preparation period leading up to whatever the significance of that season is. And we're still experiencing the season of light. And so the preparation in various cultures leading up to the experience and the celebration of the season of light is all about the preparation. We are to be ever mindful and to get clear about what we have, and be clear about what we want. Be clear about what we want and leave the how up to Spirit. In our preparation, we can sometimes get bogged down in the how. You know, how is this going to work out? How is this piece of the puzzle going to fit? The how is not up to us. We're to identify the what. And that's where the magic comes in. We turn this over to the law of mind, to the law of life, to work out the how. And we sit back and appreciate the demonstration that is brought to us. If the path is unlikely, it's easy to miss the magical moments of synchronicity, wisdom, clarity, and peace. And so rather than taking the easy road, let's take that road, that path that seems unlikely, and watch the mystery and the magic unfold as we go along. Mindful daily reflection of new ways to love, new ways to experience joy, new ways that peace is showing up allows us to become more receptive to the divine truth that is ever present and awaiting our recognition of it. Open the door of your heart and mind and welcome in the good. Say yes to life. And this is an excerpt from Dr. Michael Beckwith from the Sunday service at Agape International Center, August 23rd of 20. And Dr. Michael shares this: everything is already happening. Love, beauty, joy, wisdom, harmony, peace, abundance, prosperity, intelligence, bliss, grace, ecstasy, and creativity. It's all here now. The spiritual technologies of prayer, meditation, and spiritual study are about readying the mind to accept that which is already here. So again, it's the preparation for the magic that is already here. The preparation through our use of the spiritual technologies of prayer and meditation and spiritual study, ready the mind to accept what is already here. And point number 3 is to slow down and celebrate. Slow down and celebrate. Life is good, and it shows. We can celebrate with each and every breath. Take in that holy breath. Pause and celebrate the small moments of joy. Experience the wonders of life and be awed by the magical life. This is how we experience the presence of the infinite. Slowing down, taking that holy breath, pausing and celebrating the small moments of joy. Not just in the prayer chair or spiritual practice, the possibility of living magical moments with the people in our lives, slowing down and being open to the magic of being together. Let us be an effortless revelation of spirit. Notice the small ways in which we come together in the spirit of life impacts our lives in a big way. Again, Reverend Patrick Harbala in Magic of the Soul writes, recognizing that spiritual force, the magic of each individual soul, is present and active in every experience. Through daily practice, people can dramatically change how they respond to life's challenges and infuse the direction of their lives with greater peace, fulfillment, and meaning. Again, another way of just saying slow down and celebrate. God is infinite intelligence. And as much as that intelligence is available to us, as much of that intelligence that is available to us is that which we are willing to accept. Again, slow down, breathe, celebrate, take in the holy breath, accept the creative intelligence that is available to us. Be willing to expand our mental mold. Be willing to expand our container of consciousness to embrace the intelligence, to embrace the magic that is in our lives. And our call to action. We are not musicians. We're not magicians. We're not magicians using smoke and mirrors. We are metaphysicians using principles and laws expressing, yes, magical lives. Say that again. We are not magicians using smoke and mirrors. We are metaphysicians using principles and laws, experiencing the yes. We are experiencing magical lives. In one of our recent visioning sessions for the center, and I invite you to join us on Saturday mornings, and you can see the newsletter for the time and the link to be a part of our visioning practice for the center. In one of our recent visioning centers, one of the participants shared this great reminder with us, and that is to stand firm in the principles of our beliefs. Stand firm in the principles of our beliefs. And by doing so, the magical life becomes real, and it is for everyone who chooses it. Again, it brings us back to that point of choice. We can always choose again. Pause and notice the magical, mystical life that we are now living. It is not happening to us. It is happening through us as each of us. Life does not happen to us. It happens through us as us. This is how life works. Envision the boldest and the highest idea and align with that in thought, in word, and in deed. Allow your imagination and delight in life to empower your thought, inspiration to guide your word, and faith to fulfill your deed. In our life practice, consciously invite the unquenchable intention to keep Christmas going all year long. Be inspired to see so many people acting from a place of love and care as we have witnessed in our spiritual community and in other areas of our lives. We keep this going beyond Christmas by focusing on the love and the rightness that is inside ourselves. We keep this going beyond Christmas by intentionally expressing this into the world, by being a little kinder to ourselves. Remember, it all begins with us, being a little kinder to ourselves, being a little kinder to one another, and being kinder to our planet. Shine the light of hope and joy within our hearts, wherever we are and whatever our circumstances. Act from this place of love and hope so that the world is a better place because we are in it. Go forth knowing that I am, you are, we are the place where God shows up. And Marcus Aurelius offers this quote: dwell in the beauty of life, watch the stars, and see yourself running with them. And our one sentence affirmation this morning, and I've asked our tech team to place it in the chat for us to carry with us through the week, is I am making magic every time I align with the power, the presence, and the authority of the divine truth in me. I am making magic every time I align with the power, the presence, and the authority of the divine truth within me. Let us pray together. You know, during the week, a few days ago, there was a bombing in Nashville. And while I haven't focused on all of the details, it has just been resting heavily on my heart that this experience of violence and expression of anger that was used to create havoc and create chaos is just so opposed to what we know, what we teach, and what we believe, and that love is the only power. And so collectively this morning, as we turn within to that place of knowing the indwelling presence of love and life within us, I invite us to call forth this highest form of love, the magic of love, the beauty of love, the joy of love. And I know that the love that I am calling forth is that love that expresses itself as the one life, the one power, and the one presence. I know that I am one with this love, and that each one that is participating in this celebration of life this morning, this life that is good and very good, is an expression of love. And it is true for the entire planet and all of the inhabitants of the planet. Each and everything that has breath is an expression of love. And I'm knowing that love casts out all fear. Love casts out that which has temporarily separated us from the true essence of who we are. And so in calling forth that love, I call forth peace to our planet. I call forth peace in our lives. I call forth peace within our communities. I call forth peace within our political system. I call forth peace within our social systems. I call forth peace within every aspect of life, knowing that the peace of God passes all human understanding. And when we move to that place of love, we can just drop the fight. A very wise teacher shared that with me. I was engaged in some discord with a colleague, and it just didn't seem like any resolution was coming forth. And my spiritual teacher said, all it takes is one of you to drop the fight. That's all it takes, one of you to drop the fight. And so I choose to drop the fight against whatever there is that appears in my life as an adversary. And I replace that fight with love. I embrace that which appears to be an adversary, and I invite it to join arms with me, and that we walk together and create an understanding rather than facing each other head on in an adversarial relationship. Knowing that as we move forward together in love, in joy, and in harmony, that we gain a deeper understanding and appreciation for the experiences of one another. And as we gain this understanding, we recognize that our experiences is what create our uniqueness. Our experiences is what creates our diversity, and our experiences is what allows us to share another's perspective without judgment, but to share it from a place of warm embrace. I speak my word of blessing this morning, knowing that the law of life, the law of liberty, the law of love is saying yes to whatever prayer requests there are within the very tender spaces of our hearts. Whether that request be for health, for right livelihood, for right living space, for right relationships, for right connections, for being the place where God shows up, just opening up to embrace this idea that I can be the place. Not only can I be, but I am that place where God shows up. I'm knowing that the law of life, that the law of the universe, that the law just says yes, that fertile soil that we plant our request into, it just says yes. And so now we, with anticipation, with joyous anticipation, we watch the magic unfold as the demonstrations appear in our lives. And I declare that these demonstrations are good and very good. And so for this and for so much more, I give thanks. And I release this word, I release this prayer, I release this time into the activity of love and law. And I just allow it to be. And we affirm this together by saying, and so it is. And now it is our opportunity to participate in the divine flow of circulation by sharing our gifts, sharing our tithes, sharing our offerings, expressing the goodness that is within. And we have our abundance affirmation. I recognize the presence of God within as the source of my abundance. Out of my abundance consciousness flows everything I could desire in life. With gratitude and thanksgiving, I now participate in the flow of uninterrupted abundance. I release this visible substance as an outer symbol of my inner supply into the physical world. This prosperous experience is evidence of my abundance consciousness, and so it is. And on our screen are the various ways to participate in the law of circulation by mailing a check to the center, making a secure donation through our website, or you can text to give at 831-246-9694. And I wish to thank you for the way that you continue to lovingly support the center and allow us to continue to engage and expand our creativity. And now we say good morning to our Facebook family. Thank you for participating. Thank you for your love. Thank you for continuing to show up. And Happy New Year. We will see you in 2021.